The dinner I can't forget. It's 6:37 p.m., and I'm sitting alone in my car outside a restaurant I don't even like. The kind of place that pretends to be casual but somehow makes you feel underdressed if your shirt doesn't have starch in it. The dashboard clock glows a soft orange, and I can see my own reflection in the windshield. My eyes look tired, older somehow. I tell myself it's just the lighting, but that's a lie. It's been a long few weeks. My phone buzzes. It's a text from Mason. "We're here. Just got a table by the window. Take your time. Take your time." He always says that like I have a choice. I take a deep breath, grab my purse, and step out into the cool evening air. The smell of grilled steak and red wine drifts from the patio, and laughter spills from the people inside, people who look like they don't carry ghosts around with them. The hostess greets me with a smile that feels rehearsed. "Table for 4. "Yeah," I say. "Under Mason." She leads me through rows of half-empty tables until I spot them: Mason, Harper, and Nate. 3 people I once would have called my entire world. Now, sitting across from them feels like walking into an old photograph that no longer fits the moment. Mason stands up first, that same easy charm on his face. He's wearing the navy jacket I bought him last Christmas, before everything fell apart. "Hey, Ava." His voice is calm, too calm. "You look great." I manage a smile that doesn't quite reach my eyes. "Thanks. You too." Harper waves, her bracelets jingling as she does. "Ava. It's been forever. You look amazing, seriously." Of course she'd say that. Harper always knows how to sound enthusiastic without meaning a word. Nate gives a small nod. "Hey. That's all. Just hey." And that's when it hits me, I shouldn't have come. We sit down, and for a while, it's the usual fake pleasantries. Work. Weather. Someone's new apartment. I swirl my water glass just to keep my hands busy. Harper's talking about a new job at a marketing firm downtown, and Mason's laughing too loudly at something Nate says. The air between them feels familiar, like muscle memory, and I realize I'm the only one who doesn't belong here anymore. So, Harper leans in, eyes glinting. "Ava, how's life treating you? Still doing the interior design thing?" I nod. "Yeah, still doing it. Business is good, actually." It's true. But saying it out loud feels defensive, like I'm trying to prove something. "That's awesome," she says, her tone light but her eyes flicking toward Mason for half a second, as if my success is an inside joke. Mason clears his throat. "You're still in Portland, right?" "Yeah," I say, "still there." He smiles. "You always loved that city." He says it softly, almost kindly, but every word feels like sandpaper. Our food comes. The clinking of silverware fills the silence that conversation can't. Halfway through my salad, Mason says it. The thing I knew was coming. "I'm getting married." The words hit like a quiet explosion. Harper smiles. Nate looks down. I blink, once, twice. "Oh. Wow. Congratulations." "Thanks," he says. "Her name's Sophie. We've been seeing each other for a while now." I nod, forcing air into my lungs. That's great." "Really?" I stab a tomato too hard and it splits, juice bleeding across the plate. Harper jumps in quickly. "You'll love her, Ava. She's sweet. A nurse, actually. A nurse. Of course she is. Kind, patient, the opposite of me." The table hums with awkward cheer after that, but I'm not listening anymore. I'm somewhere else, back to the last night Mason and I talked before everything crumbled. The way he said, "I just need space," like it was something you could measure. When the check comes, Mason insists on paying. Old habits. I don't argue. As we walk out, Harper hugs me tight, Nate pats my shoulder, and Mason. He just looks at me for a moment. There's something in his eyes, guilt, maybe. Or pity. Take care, Ava, he says softly. You too, I manage. He smiles. You'll always be one of the good ones, you know that. And then he's gone, crossing the parking lot, laughing at something Harper says, while I stand there under the flickering streetlight, feeling like the punchline of a joke I never agreed to be in. I sit back in my car, the engine off, hands trembling on the steering wheel. The restaurant's glow reflects on the windshield, fading slowly as they drive away. I tell myself I'm fine. That I'm happy for him. That this dinner was closure. But as I start the car and pull onto the empty road, the truth cuts through every lie I've been feeding myself. I'm not fine. I'm not over him. And worst of all, I think he knows. The next morning, I wake up before my alarm. For a moment, I lie there staring at the ceiling, tracing the faint lines in the paint like they might spell out an answer I've been avoiding. My apartment is quiet, too quiet. No sound of the coffee machine starting on its own because Mason forgot to unplug it again. No half-folded blanket at the edge of the couch. No music humming from the bathroom. Just silence. I sit up, rubbing my eyes. My phone lights up with a few notifications, work emails, a group chat, and one unread text from an unknown number. Hey. It's Mason. Just wanted to make sure you got home okay last night. For a second, I just stare at it. Then I type, yeah, I did. Thanks. And before I can overthink it, I toss my phone face down onto the bed. At work, I can't focus. My assistant, Lydia, keeps asking if I'm okay. I keep telling her I'm fine. But my brain keeps replaying that dinner, the way Mason looked at me, the way he said, you'll always be one of the good ones. What the hell does that even mean? By noon, I give up pretending and take an early lunch break. I drive to the riverfront, park by the water, and eat a sandwich I barely taste. That's when my phone buzzes again. Mason, I didn't mean to make last night weird. Mason, you seemed upset. I stare at the messages, thumb hovering over the keyboard. There's 100 things I could say, you broke me. You don't get to ask how I feel or even just leave me alone. But instead, I type. It wasn't weird. I'm just tired. He replies almost instantly. You sure? We could talk sometime. No pressure. Talk. That word again. It used to mean something between us, like a promise. Now it just feels like a trap. Still, I hear myself whispering aloud, yeah, maybe. That night, I open a bottle of wine I was saving for a client dinner and pour myself a glass, too full, too fast. The city lights outside blur slightly, and for a moment, I wonder if he's doing the same thing. I scroll through old photos, hikes, birthdays, that stupid camping trip where it rained the whole weekend. He's laughing in almost all of them. I look happy too, but it's the kind of happiness you only realize was fragile once it's gone. Around midnight, I send the message. If you still want to talk, I'm free tomorrow. His reply comes in under a minute. Okay. Coffee? The usual place. I stare at the screen, a small smile creeping in despite everything. He shrugs, his voice quiet. Because maybe that's the reason I'm here. I've been carrying something that doesn't belong to me anymore. He reaches into his pocket and places the small silver key on the table between us. It glints in the morning light, small, harmless, but heavy as hell. When I finally leave the cafe, I don't look back. The key burns in my palm the whole way home. I sit in my car outside my apartment, the same place I once waited for him to come home. For the first time in months, I let myself cry, not because I miss him, but because I finally understand, closure isn't something someone gives you. It's something you take back, quietly, when no one's watching. 3 days pass before I hear from him again. By then, I've almost convinced myself that coffee was closure. That the key he returned was symbolic, final. Almost. Until my phone buzzes at 11:12 p.m., an unknown number. Hi. Is this Ava? I stare at the message for a moment, frowning. Who's this? A minute later, the reply comes. This is Sophie. My chest tightens. Sophie. Mason's fiancée. I sit up straight, the glow of my phone washing pale light across my room. She sends another text before I can respond. I think we need to talk. We meet the next afternoon at a small cafe downtown, not the one I met Mason at. This one's quieter, emptier, almost too calm for what's coming. When she walks in, I recognize her instantly. She's beautiful, the kind of soft beauty that photographs well without trying. Brown hair in a loose bun, simple white blouse, no makeup except a little gloss. She spots me, gives a small, polite wave, and walks over. Ava? Yeah. Her voice is calm, but her hands are trembling. She sits, folds them together, and for a few seconds we just stare. Then she says, I know this is weird. I didn't want to do this, but I didn't know who else to talk to. I'm guessing this is about Mason, I say. Her eyes flicker. Yeah. It is. She takes a deep breath. I know he saw you last week. I freeze. He told you that? She shakes her head. No. I found out another way. She reaches into her purse and pulls out her phone. On the screen, messages. From Mason. To me. Except, they're not the ones we sent. They're different. Mason, she looked so lost. I couldn't just ignore her. Mason, I think she still wants me back. Mason, I'm meeting her again tomorrow. Don't worry, you're the one I love. My mouth goes dry. I never said that. I didn't even. She nods quickly. I know. That's why I'm here. Something doesn't add up. Her voice cracks a little. He's been acting strange for months. Distant. Guilty. He talks in his sleep sometimes, says your name. I blink. Sophie, I haven't seen him in a year until last week. I believe you, she whispers. But I needed to see your face when I said his name. And, now I know you're not the problem. There's a silence between us, heavy, raw. Then Sophie says quietly, he asked me to marry him 6 months ago. But I found a box in his closet last week, full of photos of you. Notes. Letters. I look down. My stomach twists. She leans back, her voice trembling. He still loves you. And he's marrying me because he thinks it'll make him forget. My throat feels tight. Sophie, I didn't know. I know you didn't. She looks me straight in the eyes. That's why I'm ending it. The words hit me like cold water. You're ending the engagement? Yes. Her tone is steady now, calm in a terrifying way. I'm not going to marry someone who uses me to erase someone else. She stands, picking up her purse. I just thought you deserved to know the truth. And maybe, to be free of him, too. Before she leaves, she pauses. You're the only one he ever really loved, Ava. But he doesn't know what to do with love once he has it. And then she's gone. That night, Mason calls. I let it ring out twice before answering. Ava, he says, voice low. Did Sophie talk to you? She did. He exhales sharply. It's not what it sounds like. Then what is it? I snap. Because from where I'm standing, you're lying to both of us. He hesitates. I was trying to protect her. From what? The truth? Silence. Then, from me. For a second, I think I misheard him. He continues, voice cracking. I never stopped thinking about you. I thought if I married her, it would fix me. But it just made me feel worse. Seeing you again. Stop, I cut him off. You don't get to say that now. He's quiet for a long time. Then, I'm sorry, Ava. Don't be sorry, I say softly. Be honest. For once. And I hang up. A week later, I hear through mutual friends that Sophie called off the wedding. Mason moved out of their apartment. No one's seen him since. Part of me wants to reach out, to check if he's okay, to make sure he's not falling apart. But another part of me, the one that's finally learning to breathe again, knows I can't. Because some people aren't lessons, they're warnings. 3 months later, I get a letter in the mail. No return address, but I know the handwriting instantly. Ava. I don't expect forgiveness. I just wanted to say thank you, for being the one person who ever saw me for who I was. I'm moving out of state, starting over. I hope you find peace, because I think I finally understand what that means. M. I fold the letter carefully and place it in a drawer, not to keep, but to bury. Then I step outside, feel the wind on my face, and for the first time in years, I don't look back. It's been almost a year since Mason disappeared. Life, somehow, moved on. I moved to a new apartment, new job, new city. I don't talk about him anymore, not even to myself. But sometimes, late at night, I still think about that letter. I'm moving out of state, starting over. It sounded like closure. It felt like closure. Until today that it starts with a random message from Sophie. We haven't talked since that cafe, no reason to. But her name flashes on my screen again, and for some reason, my chest tightens. Hey Ava. I know this is weird, but can I call you? It's about Mason. I freeze. My hands start shaking. I don't reply for a full minute, then I just text. Sure. Her voice is different this time, calm, almost detached. Ava, you should probably sit down for this. My stomach drops. What happened? She hesitates, then says, he's back. It takes me a second to process. What do you mean, he's back? He's been in town for a few months. I didn't know until recently. He reached out to me. I clench my jaw. Why would he do that? That's what I thought, she says. He said he just wanted to apologize properly. We met for coffee. There's a pause, a heavy, loaded silence. Then she adds quietly, he told me something about you. My pulse quickens. What did he say? That you two have been talking again. My mind goes blank. What? He said you found him online. That you wanted to meet up. It's me. Taken last week. At the park. I'm sitting on a bench, smiling down at a book. On the back, written in that same familiar handwriting. See? I told you I never stopped watching over you. I go to the police. They take my statement, file a report, promise to look into it. But there's nothing concrete. No threats, no evidence tying it directly to him. Just fear. And memories. Sophie calls again a few days later. I think he's unraveling, she says quietly. He's been showing up near my work. I changed my locks. Do you think he'd hurt someone? I don't know anymore, she whispers. But the way he talks, it's like he's not living in reality. We promise to update each other if anything happens. Then I block his account, change my number, even delete my social media. For a while, things are quiet again. Until one night, I come home, and my door's slightly open. I freeze in the hallway. The air feels heavier somehow. Every instinct screams don't go in, but I do. The lights are off. My couch cushion slightly moved. And on the counter, a single note. You don't need to be afraid. I'm here now. The police find no fingerprints. No forced entry. No camera footage of anyone entering the building. They tell me to stay somewhere safe for a few days. So I do. I crash at a friend's place across town. Every creak of the floor makes me jump. Every phone vibration makes my heart race. Then, 2 weeks later, Sophie calls again. Her voice is shaking. He's gone. What do you mean? I don't know. The cops found his car near the lake. Doors open. His phone inside. But no sign of him. Months pass. The investigation stops. People move on. I try to, too. Sometimes I dream of him, standing by the water, smiling, saying, "See? You'll never have to wonder if I loved you." And then I wake up. Alone. But last week, a small envelope arrived at my new apartment, no name, no return address. Inside. A photo. Of me. Taken yesterday. On the back. Told you, I never really left.